Welcome to Lunch Break Reviews. I'm Bradley Butin, your self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, here to dive into the best and sometimes the worst of pop culture. Each week I'll spotlight one movie, TV show, comic, or something from the realms of awesomeness and put it through the lunch break point system, rating everything from its main course to its leftover appeal. We'll cover a couple of reviews, the box office buzz, and my own take on whether this movie or whatever deserves a place in your lunch break lineup, all in about 30 minutes or less. For more reviews on TV shows and comics, check out our Quick Bites on TikToks and the podcast feed throughout the week. Let's just start a little bit with some nerd news. So from the cafeteria gossip, a couple things. We have DC and Marvel are set to collaborate in 2025. This makes my heart very healthy, or happy anyway, for 2 one-shots. So two, it's kind of weird, but maybe they'll do 2 a year. Who knows? It's going to be awesome either way. And Jeff Probst from Survivor number 50, the host of Survivor, says Survivor 50 is going to be led by the fans. Gwen Stacy will make her appearance to Your Neighborhood Friendly Spider-Man in season 2 as Ghost Spider. That's pretty freaking awesome. Harley Quinn is going to be crossing over with Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And yeah, sounds good to me. I'll probably buy that one. And lastly, Batman is getting rebooted again. Looks like they're going to start back over at number 1 in September. The new creative team is Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. And if you have not seen Jorge Jimenez art, he's probably one of the best artists in comics right now. So good. Love everything that he does. All right, let's get right into all the things about Spider-Man. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So season 1 came out in this year, 2025. IMDb currently has this one being rated at a 7.2 out of 10. Metascore, there's a 77% Metascore, or 77 on the Metascore, and a 5.3 on the user score for the Meta. Letterboxd, let's see here, didn't get that one. Rotten Tomatoes has this as a 97% on the tomato meter, with a 71% on the popcorn meter. So the critics liked it just a little bit more than the users. The people, does that make sense? Maybe. So let's go right into the synopsis. IMDb synopsis of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. The animated series follows Peter Parker on his way to becoming Spider-Man in the MCU. That part's wrong, for sure, with a journey unlike we've ever seen in style that celebrates the character's early comic roots. Most that's right, except for the whole MCU part. I don't know, whatever. So here's the billing, the top billings for the show. This is created by Jeff Trammell. Directors for this animated series is Melikor Zweier. I'm sorry, I'm really saying that wrong. Liza Singer, Stu Livingston. The writers' credits are Steve Ditko. You can see it all over the art. Raven Cohn, Stan Lee, Charlie Nooner, Jeff Trammell. And the main cast is Hudson Thames, Eugene Bird, Carrie Walgren, Coleman Domingo, who is so fantastic in this, and Kathy Ang. All right, it is time to get into the reviews. So let's check these out. Here's my quick little disclaimer. These reviews are chosen based on title alone, and I haven't read them beforehand. So let's dive in together. Please excuse any mispronunciations as I read them as exactly as they appear, punctuation quirks and all. So this is the first one I got is a bad review. It's a from Eric. 1 out of 10. It's titled, Who's This For? All right. Who is this series even for? It skews young more so than in the recent and utterly fantastic X-Men 97. Only shorn of that show more adult complexity in storylines. But then it peppers in a Dumb and Dumber reference. Watch out for live comments on the antagonist's live stream for Parker's first bad guy taken down, which likely only older fans will pick up. And yet immediately it's straight back to its overly simplistic narrative and styling. Again, who is the show for? The casual viewer, the hardcore MCU fan, the young, the more mature, it's difficult to gauge, feeling like it's for no one as opposed to what it's likely going for to be for everyone. It's a strange show to understand why it's been included as a MOT, just part of the MCU, Phase 5, but its premiere probably to act as a soft introduction to later Phase 5 characters. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio from Daredevil Born Again are included in the voice cast for the series, as it feels like a hard turn back into the bland and slightly dull of the moment or the more successful entries of the previous show. Of the previous phase, as opposed to something bold and new to let Kevin Feige at L show us the MCU is back on course after a series of critically mauled misfires and burgeoning audience apathy. All right. Take it on its own merits. This is fine. It's another Spider-Man origin story, albeit under a slightly different guise. But that's its main problem. It gets the benefit of the doubt after a fairly entertaining but utterly uninspired hour of television, with hopefully little of the meat of the narrative arc of the season revealed in any way yet. But so far, this feels like only slightly different Spider-Man. And if this Spider-Man is only going to be slightly different, it's as I said right at the beginning of this review. Why? All right. What do we think? Let's move on to another bad review. This is a slightly longer one, and this is from Wajiomika. Well, I don't know. I can't say that word. I'll spell it out. Woiekmicha. Let's try it one more time. Wajiomika. Okay. All right. Anyway, I don't talk good. This is a 1 out of 10, and it's a spoiler, and it's titled Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Review. Woo! Okay. This show is an absolute disgrace. Let's go over the bad things, which many of the aspects of the show are. First of all, the plot, how Peter gains his spider powers is original, sure, but it's just ridiculous how Doctor Strange leaves behind a spider for no reason. It's original, but out of the ordinary and just unclear and not very focused on the beginning. Felt rushed, as he just got the powers in the first 5 minutes. It skips ahead a whole 8 months with no context. Second of all, the characters. Why are all the characters from the original plot either changed color of skin or gone? No Mary Jane, no Gwen, but this time Dome random girl no one had ever heard of. And Peter has a new friend who's just confusing to have added. And Harry hasn't made much of an appearance either. It's early on the show, so I guess that's fine. But why is the plot terrible? Number one is unclear where it's headed, as the begging was rushed and unclear, and Norman already knows Peter is Spider-Man in the second episode, which feels very rushed to make impact. Speaking of one of the worst things they did, not only is the story of where he gets his spiders very, very rushed, but in the school, he becomes some sort of cool kid everyone likes, and there's no Flash Thompson either, but a supposedly perfect guy who still has this random crush, and he's big and buff and smart and kind, and absolute disgrace how all these characters have been altered greatly, and now Peter has some cool kid. In the original, he was a nerd and no one liked him except Harry, and to change the original plot is disgraceful. It's pretty clear all these changes to skin color they spelled it wrong, and characters, etc. We're made to adjust society's new standards where Black and LGBT people have to be overly accepted, and Disney wanted people to see they are adjusting to these new standards by making every character Black and or switching their gender like they did with Kurt Connor, changing him to woman and Black. If Stan Lee saw this, he would be enraged and disgusted, because now apparently the new standards need to be shown by completely ruining the characters and plot of Spider-Man. I'm disgusted and disappointed in this poor decision making. Everything is wrong about the story, and no adult can watch this, as this was clearly meant for little kids who are getting brainwashed into thinking there's no bullying or racism in the world. My favorite superhero was ruined by you guys. Like, okay, I was gonna wait till I will read the other two, but let's talk about this one for just a second. This person doesn't know anything about Spider-Man at all. For one, Nico is his best friend. I thought it was absolutely brilliant to bring this in, and man, it's different. There is a lot of different colors and LGBT, and whether you like it or not, this is the system that we live in today. They went more realistic with the surroundings of where he is in New York, and didn't just show a bunch of white people in an area that is predominantly not white anymore. I honestly thought it was brilliant the way that they did it. I didn't think that they're throwing political points down my throat when I was watching it. I felt a lot more realistic with it, and I you're wrong, man. You're just wrong, man. Dude, read a comic. Read a comic book. All right, enough of that. Let's get into another bad review from Metascore. All right, Joy Keto gave this a 0 on the Metascore, saying trash. Totally trash. Disney is ruining Marvel and Spider-Man in every way. Don't waste your time watching this. All right. Here's another one. And this is from Void Crusher. He gave this a 1. Terrible series with an art style so ugly it looks AI generated. This is what happens when you allow Disney and Marvel to make animated Spider-Man series. Spider-Verse is light years ahead of this garbage. The animation style is an homage to the comic books. This is a very, very heavily comic-inspired show. So again, Void Crusher, read a comic. Read a comic. If you can't see those parallels from the animation style with the blues in the hair and everything like that, man, I don't know what to tell you, dude. All right, enough of the bad. We can crucify them all we want because I love this show. Let's get into the good. All right, this is from VVB12, and it's a 10 out of 10, and it's called Please watch all 10 episodes before even thinking of writing a review here. This show deserves better rating. Yeah, okay. I was very skeptical about the show since it was announced TBH. Even its trailer and the lack of hype around it made me almost skip the show, but I'm glad I gave it a chance. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I have watched it or at least know about many different shows, movies, and comics about Spider-Man. Trust me when I say the show gets better after the first 2 episodes. I like their decision not to make the show feature in the main MCU timeline, so we're getting an unexpected and less popular characters from the Spider-Man stories. I just finished all 10 episodes, and I absolutely enjoyed the show. These episodes surprisingly felt like a breath of fresh air. There was something exciting in each episode, and the fact that they released the entire season in sets of 2 or 3 episodes per week was a good decision. Other shows, especially superhero-related shows, should release episodes like this, in my opinion. Though I am praising the show, there are a few things that some people may not like, or this show might not feel enjoyable to them. But this is a different take on the same characters we all know and love. With MCU having the rights to almost all the crucial characters, I'm glad they are using them all without messing with the main timeline. The animation style is not something I really like, but I got used to it after some time. Though they have made some changes to a few characters' origins and appearances, I feel like it's more of a Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse decision, where they're basically just considering a different timeline than most common one. I'm excited about the next season, and I hope they do not make fans wait too long. I recommend you give this a shot, but if you do, please watch more than 3 episodes. Yeah, I can buy that. I didn't mind the first couple episodes. I was hook, line, and sinker from episode 1. My podcast partner for Nerd Positive was like, dude, you're gonna love it, and he was 100% right. All right, so let's do another good review. All right, this is a good review from Alien Robot Zombie Overlord, and it's called Breath of Fresh Air. I was not expecting much with this show. I tend to dislike animation as I think it is really geared towards kids and doesn't do a good job with character development. However, this show has surprised me so far. Only the first 2 episodes have aired so far, but it's off to a great start. The animation is unique and fluid, and the storytelling has been interesting. I feel like we've gotten to know not just Spidey, but also his cast of supporting characters in just this short amount of time. The dialogue is sharp and the pacing is crisp. I put it on the background noise, but found myself watching intently to see what was happening, and I'm ready for more. I can see a lot of storytelling potential already set up. It's following a lot of classic Spider-Man beats and yet charting a completely original direction. As someone who's been on the Spider-Man train for over 5 decades now, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I'm really excited to see what comes next. You know what, Alien Robot Zombie Overlord, I hope you watched the rest of the series and you loved it. Absolutely, I'm sure you did. Let's do another good review. This is a good review from Metascore. This is a 91 from the AV Club, establishing a distinctive line between fresh-faced, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and all that's come before, while embracing the retro charm of the Halicon, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, and John Romita Sr. era, is a nimble balance that Trammell, however you say it, I do apologize, and his team strike with sensational ability and care. I agree. I really do. And here we go. Let's do one more. All right, this is another good Metascore, an 80 from IGN. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is a marvelously good time. By swapping out Tony Stark as Peter Parker's mentor and replacing him with Norman Osborn, we're treated to 10 episodes of insidiously fun superhero TV. All right, there we have it. We have the good, we have the bad. Let me know your thoughts on these reviews or the movie. It's time to get into the lunch break point system, and here is how it works. The lunch break point system is my unique rating category with up to 5 points per category. We're going to start with the main course. We're going to talk about it for just a second, but you know what? One thing I do need to say, back to the bad reviews, I digress. We're getting that. Lonnie is Tombstone, and it was really cool to see that origin of that and making him more in Tombstone. Anyway, I just want to say I thought that was brilliant. I know that people were complaining about it, but I thought it was a brilliant story choice. So anyway, back to the lunch break points, and we'll get into that, I guess, in the side dish. The main course, for 1 point, would be unappetizing mess, struggles to even hold together. That's not the case. We're gonna go. Let's look at a 5. 5, a masterpiece. It leaves you full and craving more. You know what? I do want more. I really do. Is it worth a 5? I mean, I can see, I love the animation style, I love the voice acting in it. You know what? Yes, we're going to give this a 5. Okay. Next is the side, just the supporting elements. One would be sides are poorly executed or completely missing. Absolutely not. A 3 would be some solid moments. Well, there was a lot more than some. Let's look at a 4. Complements the main dish well. Solid support all around. I can see it could easily live there, but what's a 5? Outstanding sides and that elevate the entire meal to a new level. You know what? I mean, Lonnie made it better. Nico made it better. Aunt May made it better. Norman made it way better. So guess what? You are getting a 5 for the side dish as well. Let's look at spice level. This is for creativity and boldness. One point would be bland and unoriginal, no risk taken. There was some risks. I mean, Alien Venom at the beginning and the way that they turned everything around. You had Doctor Strange in there. It was spicy. There's some spicy points in there. 3 points would be brings a little heat with some creative flair. I think it's going to be more than that. 4 would be bold and unique with impressive execution. It absolutely lives in the 4. What's a 5? A red hot creativeness, creativity, a daring and unforgettable experience. You know what? It was great. It is great. I don't think it's one of the best things. You know, we're going to go 4 here just because I think it matches well. I think if I did a point, like if I could do a 4 point, I think it would be more like a 4.4 than I would be at a 4.5 to round up. So we're going to give this a spice level 4 because it's bold. It is unique. And it is very, very impressively executed. Next is the leftover pill. This is the rewatch replay value. All right, so I'm already going to watch it again. I'm going to watch one of my kids. And so we're going to give it a 3 would be a decent option to revisit when you're in the mood, which I will have to be. But like what a 4 would be, you'll definitely want seconds, holds well over time. This is definitely going to hold up, I think, with the animation style. A 5 would be timeless, something you'll crave again and again. I think we're going to go with a 4 again. I don't feel like I'm going to watch it every week. I'm excited for it. I want to see more. I will rewatch it before I watch all of season 2. And I'm going to try to get my kid into it as well. So we're going to be left with the dessert. And the dessert is the emotional satisfaction. All right, so 3 points would be sweet enough to end on a good note, but nothing remarkable. We know it's better than that. 4 would be leaves you with a smile, a well-rounded finish. It does. You know, it really, really does. And 5 would be a perfect treat, an unforgettable cherry on top. You know what? Well, let's go 4. I think 4 is going to live in that 4 world. Leaves you with a smile, a well-rounded finish. I was happy. I liked it a lot. I've told people to watch it, several people to watch it, and you know what? I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and count them up. We have 22 points. 22 points is going to make this the gourmet lunch. Good job. Good job. 22 out of 25. All right. So this week we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up that I want to watch. Reacher is back. Suits LA is coming back. There's a new movie coming out called Last Breath. And really, that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. There's some comics coming out here very, very soon. But I got to get caught up with G.I. Joe. But yeah, that's about it for my anticipations. Upcoming releases this week. This week we have Last Breath. In a couple weeks, we have Black Bag and Novocaine. All right. And here we go. Please let me know, what movies are you excited to see this week? Where would you rank your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? Let me know. Do you agree with the lunch break point system? And lastly, who do you think is going to be on top this week in the box office? I want to know, is it going to be Captain America? Is it going to be Monkey? I did watch Monkey last night. It was freaking great. I'm probably going to make it an extra episode this week. So anyway, why don't you, if you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/nerdpositive or patreon.com/nerdpositive and join the Council of Nerds. And that's a wrap on this week's Lunch Breaks Reviews. Thanks for tuning in and joining me, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan. If you enjoyed today's dive into the realms of awesomeness, hits or misses, don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Catch my quick bites throughout the week. For further exploration of the realms of awesomeness. Until next time, keep watching, keep reading, keep being awesome. See you next week, same time, same place, for another edition of Lunch Break Reviews. Oh, bye-bye.